Yeah, this is like obnoxious. All right. So that's kind of bad for us, but what can you do, right? What in the world? That's actually pretty good. Can we stabilize? Is the question. We're just hoping they have bricks right off the top. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's probably the best draw they could have. They should just bin all three, right? Presumably. If they keep, that's actually really scary. That means like they must really want whatever is on top. But if I were them, it's probably just bin, right? Just try to hope you get delirium here. That is very scary. That cannot be good for us. That cannot be good for us. I get the feeling that they must really want what's on top, and that's scary. I mean, if they hit delirium here, we we just lose. So I think we just have to plus. Oops, that's a mistake. I should not have done that. I'm pretty sure we're dead here, but I don't think we're beating that hand in like any universe, unfortunately. Like they hit like Bobble there was just a killer, right, for them to draw. I don't know how many they're playing, but fetch land here and we're dead. I think there is merit to be made that the problem is they can just respond to like first stream I catch an A's, I tune in triple DRC. Yeah, the problem is they played it pretty well. Like they didn't fall for the bait and just like end step kill our shepherd and then we like flash in the endurance in response. The problem is they had the removal plus the days, right? Alright, we're just dead here. That is a problem. Alright. Yeah, they can't even forget. It's an upgrade. This is pretty good. Keep. This is not bad. We'll see here. Is it gonna be the blind force? Like I'm gonna force whatever you do. If they don't bolt here, we're probably in decent shape. If they do bolt, we want to draw one or two drop. Okay, that's pretty good. Who did they target? Let me see. They targeted themselves. Sure. They revealed days. Uh, when did they? Okay. I'm gonna do it now. Before they draw their days. Our opponent is playing pretty tight. I sometimes wonder about this account. I have suspicions on who it is. That is an alt account. Oh, that is kind of brutal. We even played around it too, but not to be. Not to be. Heat, sure. The problem is the grist has to stick and then like tick up and then like I guess it just like absorbs some light. There is the other line of shepherd, and then we like tick down later. I think I like that. This is gonna be difficult, I think. This is gonna be difficult. Looks like a Murktide region is coming. Oh my god. Shit. This has been a really rough, pun intended, league. Hey Dylan, how's it going? I'm trying to think, was there any. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't think there was anything we could have really done in this matchup. Our opponent played really well, and like I said, I have my suspicions on who I think is on the other side. Yeah, we got no. Not only did we get dealt, our opponent played incredibly tight, for what it's worth. Like if you pay attention, they played pretty well on the other side. Like hats out to them. Also, Rough Tumble is seeing play again, presumably because Elves had a good weekend. I think we can normally beat it. The problem is I don't think we're beating that kind of hand for our opponent, especially given that the type play there. Right? Uh, Bad list or are we getting dumpstered? I think we're just getting dumpstered. Like, there was not really anything we could have done here. I think we're just gonna bog them and then like let them get a 7 and a 3. It's not gonna matter because if they have bolt, we're dead anyways. Yeah, that's true too. That is true. That is true. This league didn't go too well, but it's still a little bit early. I don't know if I'm gonna finish the second league, but I'm okay with maybe a few more matches. All right, I don't think we have a single out here for the trolls. All right, now we're dead. All right, concede. All right, we went 1-4. Pretty bad. I'm not sure. We can review the second game. I'm not sure there was anything we could have really done, to be honest. Like we just got ran over these post board games where let me see. That's like pretty good too. Like that's a snap keep. Uh Debatable whether we just fire off the stuff out here. No, I don't think so either. I just think we just I don't think the street race were the issue. I think the issue was they just ran us over. Like I think it's correct to just fire off because otherwise they can just start dealing us 3 a turn. See, this is the awkward part here, right? Like our opponent kept it up 1 mana, so we can't actually slam down endurance, which we would have wanted to. So actually reviewing this, they held up our opponent held up removal. I think the correct line is having reviewed this now, I think the correct line is to not endurance them and dare them to have the Murktide region because they have removal up, right? Like I think that is now the correct line. And here they have the days a second time, which is a killer. No, sorry, they have the force, which was the killer. So it's possible they heat us on our turn because we don't do anything. Then they force whatever we do, and then we still have the endurance. We don't get day. We don't lose the days there. So I think this second game I could have played better in hindsight because I think it was a tell when they left the 1 mana open that we don't walk into the into the unholy heat there. And we dare them to have the Murktide region. I think also a good Delver player may know that Murktide slash iteration are actually not as good against this current iteration of elves because it requires tapping out and then you just get super punished because the artisan gets online, right? Unchecked. So I think in hindsight we did misplay. So lesson learned, right? I think let's look at game 3 because I do think our opponent played very well here, and I think it's probably worth evaluating, so to speak, right? Here we just kept that. I think that's a reasonable hand. Go turn 1 Dork. They go turn 1. I think Delver. They kept the Bauble here, which is like pretty heads up. They're gonna target themselves. I don't think you can play around removal into foul days there. Um, it's possible you're right, Def not Oz, because you fall behind, right? You're wasting mana. Um, I think it is possible you're right. They didn't even follow Kevin D. So I again, maybe it just didn't work out and they just delvered us. That does happen too, but there is an argument to be made. Uh, some of these other matches I'm not really super concerned about. Like we probably, to be honest, we probably punted game two against the sudden subtlety deck. Here our opponent just like this matchup is not great, and our opponent knew where we're on. It's like it's kind of really hard to fight this kind of matchup. I think here, I think game three, I feel probably favored with 8 discard. Here we did punt game two, but probably not feeling good about game three, to be honest. Like, we'll run it back. Let's try the same list. I think. Oops. Okay, we are actually. I did promise decent. We will open chest. We did not have any chests there, but nevertheless, we have to open them anyways. So, open. All right, that was really good. All right, we came out ahead here, which tells me we're gonna continue to open just for decent's sake. Ooh, that's a sign to stop, right? The sweeper. That is a sign to stop. All right, we're gonna run it back now. And I may not finish this. It depends how I feel. Maybe like 2 matches or something. We'll see. What was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know what I was gonna look at. Treasure chests right now are here. Oh, EV is not great. 2.32. Eh. We needed the play points anyway, so it's fine. Alucard. I think I paired into this person a few times. I don't know what they're on though. Oh my god. Basic swamp is not something I want to see turn one. Basic swamp is not something I want to see. It's never a good thing. Oh, we got. Oh man, this is not good. I never want to see this turn one, and not a good sign. I guess I'll just yield for the turn. I'm gonna get water and be back. As my opponent clowns on me. We do have grits in our hand. That is a thing. Unfortunately, this could help. Pretty nice that the street reef here is like has. This is what I'm talking about. The Once Upon a Time actually gets better because of the street reef. Looks like we ran into the bug again. I hate this. This is a disaster. Why have they not fixed this bug? Why have they not fixed that bug? I didn't even know that because I'm streaming at the moment. But congratulations, Josh, on getting Korea. Uh, We unfortunately went to break because of this bug that continues to torture me every time I stream. There's a fix for this. I just need to look it up again. Unfortunately, you have to reset the cache or something like that. This is just quality product. Oh my god. What is going on here? I think we're gonna time out. It's a sign from the gods to stop playing Moto, perhaps. It's like proceed slowly. Thank you. Looks like we'll praying to the gods helped. Here we're just gonna play that, I guess, and bog them. Who is Wolf Wolbert again? Pardon my ignorance, Josh. Who is Wolf Wolbert? Alright, we are just dead to these. This is just aggravating. This is one reason not to max out on fetches, but I think this is something we just live with, right? If they have it, they have it. Actually, we are just dead, actually. Let's concede. There's no point. Alright. It's even better than turn 1 Dark Ritual, right? Dark Ritual Opposition Agent. Your opponent has fetch lands and you lose. And you win the game. Excuse me. Take out the Shepherds because they're going to have quad engineers. I think it's correct to just board out one of each, yeah. I like this. That sounds vaguely familiar, Josh. So if you're wrong, I don't think you're wrong by much. This is a mole. Doesn't do anything. This is kind of cool, I guess. Put the prog back. Done. I think here we're gonna grief, maybe? Let's see what they have. Plague Engineer Seas. Ugh. And Lotus Petal. I think I take the Seas and I'm going to take the Engineer. I'm going to Seize and take the Engineer. In case they have shenanigans. We're already short on resources. Oh, no, this is actually kind of nice. We can take the Edict now. Sweet. And then we can ramp safely. But hopefully. I mean, they obviously top deck well. Ugh, that destroys our plans. I just jinxed myself too. I said they top deck well and it happened. So you can flush that game plan down the window. Or not. Or not. Sure. The cheese plays to name a fetch land here, which is aggravating if they do that. I feel like they're gonna top deck the helm, cause that's close enough. That is pretty close. I think it has to be discard here or collective, right? It's got to be one or the other now. Heart of the cards. Discard or collective. It has to be C's. It can't be grief. That doesn't work. Well, it was nice while it lasted. Third time I've lost to that in the last 2 nights. Maybe I should address it. Maybe not. Yeah, it's like debatable also whether the griefs should be in. I feel like it's probably correct. Okay, this person won the challenge not this weekend, but the weekend before. We'll see what they're on. They're 1-2. Hey Sam, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? I saw you were streaming Grixis on a tweet, but didn't get a chance to tune in. For those who don't know, actually give a warm welcome here to Samantha, who top made the top 8 of Eternal Weekend in Philadelphia. So very big accomplishment. Thank you for the follow, Erlen Stormer. And she also made the top 8 of the Legacy Pit Open. So very nice year for her. I think I saw her tweet, which it's pretty awesome, that she top 8'd the 2 big paper events here in North America this year. So definitely hats out to her. Or hats off to her is what I mean to say. Once upon a time, what are the odds they're on elves? What are the odds? Nope. Looks like it's Eldrazi. Interesting. The Grixis list from Pit was sweet. I didn't take a close look, but yeah, I can imagine a Grixis list feeling very boomerang. I wonder if it even had like Kolagun's command, for instance. I think we once here. See what we draw. Probably the Visionary. Usually these Eldrazi lists have Wasteland, but I think turn 2 Symbiote into Visionary is just too good to not. It looks like a TKS here. Nope, Mana Reshaper. I wish it could be Initiative. So Samantha, why is Initiative a tough matchup for Tempo Tuesday? Is the clock just too fast, or is it something else? Actually, here is mod access for Samantha, who I'm sure will do good things with this great power. We have lethal next turn, but there could be Endbringer. Okay, that's a card. Luckily, we have lethal. Sure, that makes sense. I mean, also, yeah, there is a lot of hand disruption, and that is like traditionally quite good against what is it called? Traditionally quite good against like combo-y decks, right? All right, we get to huff our opponent here. I think it's safe to mod me when I don't know how to mess anything. Sure, I there was a time where I used to give out mod access like candy. I've slowed that down a little bit, but I think given you're the guest of honor here, I will go ahead and resume that a little bit, so to speak. Correct. So there are people here who are chiming in. Yes, I used to give out mod access like candy at one point. I've slowed that down a little bit, but okay. So Samantha, thank you for the follow, Kentucky Fried. The reason why I'm trying it tonight is because Rodney actually asked me what happened to the grief tech that you were working on, and I said, well, I was working on the initiative matchup, and then in parallel, like this became a discovery, but they're like complete opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of like the matchups. Snowflower was actually kind of insane in this matchup. But essentially what happened was I was working on both, and I didn't want to just like not solve either because I'm like divided. So what I ended up doing was I focused on fixing the initiative matchup for everybody who was going to Eternal Weekend and like follow my Patreon. Speaking of which, for those of you tuning in from Samantha's stream, here's my socials. Also, Curran was and a few others were contemplating playing elves for the showcase qualifier, and I wanted anybody who was gonna consult me to be able to be initiative. So I focused on that and like kind of dropped this to the side for at least for the week, I guess, right? And then I think this is fine. But the main idea is I want this list I'm trying tonight, which I 5-0 before the stream started. It's that I tweeted out for those of you who are curious, or I can show it again. But the of course the idea is we're gonna still keep though. The idea is we are what was I gonna say? We're gonna try to give grief every possibility to succeed before, and if it doesn't, then we'll finally cut it, right? Um, Besides black density for grief, which you astutely caught, it also grows artisan, which is like potentially relevant against what was I gonna say? Like Bolt, for instance. The I think we don't fetch here yet. We're gonna once first and see. Never didn't have it. I want it to be good. Yeah, I think it has a lot of potential. It's just a little bit inconsistent for my liking, and I mean, but based on the way I talk about mana bases, right? I value consistency a lot, so we're gonna give it every chance to succeed. I see you also subscribed to. I guess I did, yeah. Never didn't have it, but we're gonna give. All right, I think we just do it now. Before they take it, right? Yeah, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But one of the cool things I found out about Street Wreath is it turns out thinning your deck is kind of relevant when we're like a pseudo prison, pseudo combo finish deck. The other thing it does is against the combo matchups, I realized draw 6 or dig 6 deep with Once Upon a Time is pretty broken, actually. Or pretty nutty, I should say. All right, what are we gonna do here? I think we're gonna like run that into the chalice. And then I think we're just gonna play the collective. Yes, Prague is probably whitelisted. We seem to have it in our hand every game. I need to hear Jack. So which part are you referring to, Romar? I forget. What did I say right now? TKS. Oh my god, they're gonna take out Green Sun. Yikes. They are down to 9. Jeez. They are down to 9. I guess we just YOLO it. Boom. Oof, close, no cigar. I swear it's for someone else's list to update. Yeah, I am whitelist. We drew two of the best. We drew the best card twice, right, in this matchup. And we also drew the Allosaur Shepherd when they had the turn 1 chalice. So definitely whitelisted for sure. That's pretty funny. We'll try another one, I guess. No, it needs to be C's in my opinion. Sadra, it needs to be Thoughtseize. We need pinpoint discard. I'm greedy, but I need it to be C's. Or I'll settle for Inquisition. That's okay too. Or Duress. It needs to be pinpoint though. That's my that's the main point. Actually, there is not. So like, I jokingly say this, but like, I definitely gave out my props to the Jack and Martin for who I know obviously, for their top 8 run this weekend, and then Reed came close. He finished 9th unfortunately at Eternal Weekend, but I definitely think there can be gains from both variants for each other. I think obviously the Neto version gains probably a little bit more from us, only because I think the way we've structured our development is a little bit more focused, whereas they're kind of like all Lone Rangers. The other thing I think they gain from us is obviously when it's difficult to sweep or hate us out. Some people give up on trying to hate us out, if that makes sense, and that benefits the Neto build. I think we keep. York flip list in attempt to defend his crown, right? No, York actually picked Neto for the showcase qualifier because he asked me and I kind of knew he was gonna do this, but he asked me beforehand. Delver doesn't play sweepers anymore, right? Because of initiative, and I said I think one at most, and that was enough I think to sell him on that variant. All right, what are we doing here? I think we're gonna fetch into once. I'm all about the deck thinning, right? I'm all about the deck thinning. Spell Pierce? Yeah, okay. I guess it is actual Spell Pierce. I think here, given that we have the hoof in hand, I think we're just gonna ramp. We don't have the Once Upon a Time. We awkwardly drew too. So here, I think that's okay. We trade one free spell for one that doesn't affect the board. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. I think here we're just gonna flood board and see what happens. We're just gonna like. So the interesting here is I kind of mentioned this before, where the Street Reef is kind of like good. Oh my god, this is the third time. All right, we're gonna take the Street Reef, but this is what I mean, right? We're looking for specific cards, and the other two are not it. Oh, this is just brutal. This is Thank you for the follow, Ricardo. I guess that Ricardo, right? All right. I have to log back in because we keep getting punished by this once upon a time bug. Hey, one Mr. Lee. Hey Lee, how's it going? So that's the one funny thing too. For what it's worth, I actually think if you straight swap Nettle Sentinel for Reclaimer, you probably do just as well, if not better. Assuming you don't lose percentage points because you're unhappy, right? What do I say to anomalies that argue for that? So I just said that, right? I said you would win even more. Getting all the cool guests tonight. All right, we're just gonna pass, I guess. I felt like another Reclaimer was not what we were looking for. Are the vibes better on Netto or Artisan? The important question. So, if I'm being fair, I think the vibes are probably better with Netto in terms of like what people enjoy. I think Artisan is better if you love deck building though. I know Matt Sabo, who top aided the Legacy Pit alongside Samantha here, has been like having a field day with his own variant of Cradle Control, right? Like he splashed red, blue. Essentially every color splashable, he has 5-0'd with it. So take that for whatever that's worth, I guess. Correct. Also, it depends. If you are a person who loves like to blood moon people, I can see you liking Fiend Artisan. But I don't know why I would be endorsing these blood moon tactics. It is not you. I mentioned I give out mods like candy. Oh, okay. How do I want to do this? Well, okay. We're priced into bogging here, so I think given that, that's gonna like force our hand here. Hey, bookish man, how's it going? All right, we're gonna go crazy here with the bogging. Uh, correct. I'm easily bribed, right? I am been bribed to give away mod access. No, I haven't, Lee. Those are typically not the type of decks I enjoy for what it's worth. I tend to like combo. I tend to like what is it called? Control decks. Uh, not really a tempo player at heart for what it's worth. I played Delver in the past, but I didn't really enjoy it. I know 5 cents is not enough. 5 cents is not enough. What's happening here? Do not kill my reclaimer, please. All right, that's fine. Do not kill my reclaimer, please. Low key secret. If I obviously to give myself a challenge, I like to give away the secrets of the deck, so I can have other things to work on. Right? Ooh, that's kind of cool right now. Oh, I realized it right after I did it. Ooh. Whoops. Yeah, I realized. Right, I should have attacked with the other one too. That is just a disaster by me. All right. Pretend you did not see that. Pretend you did not see what I just did right now. I like real. Okay. In my defense, I have not had to care about Narset in quite a while because I glimpse of nature, and I got punished for that right now. In my defense, it's It's all saved here if I draw a land. Actually, that's not bad. I'm not gonna be greedy and try to do everything on one turn. I technically had lethal, but loses to a lot. That's not gonna work. The way my opponent thinks it is. Maybe they know. I don't know. Sure. Probably would have already won, if not for my blunder. Right? Because we had the shepherd out a turn earlier. We get it. Well, to be fair, they had the dress down. So actually, it's kind of ironic. I'm definitely whitelisted. You know why? If I had made the right play, I actually get punished by the dress down. But because I made the wrong play, I did not get punished by the dress down. It's kind of funny how that worked out. I made the wrong play and got rewarded. All right. What are they on? Some Euro shenanigans, I guess. All right. Note to self: must street reef on the other turn. I knew that obviously like before I registered this. It's just that this is a little bit foreign to me to have to do again, right? Like I haven't had to worry about Narset in quite a while, and now suddenly I have to worry about it again. No matter. I think the sideboarding is a little bit off for what it's worth. Did you? Let's see. Did you actually made the wrong play if it worked out? No. I suggest making the right play and learning from the mistakes. As I always say, be better than me. Don't be me. Submit. So yeah, that was a case of me making the wrong play, and what's it called it? If I was on the other side of the table, I would probably be frustrated or not. My opponent obviously made a wrong play and won because of it, right? Keep. Sorry, won despite it. It's probably correct, right? Be better than me. No, if you win, it was right. If you lose, it was wrong. All right. I think we're gonna fetch here. Also, shout out to Ari. Who's in the house earlier. He is a fellow reclaimer gamer. So always like to shout out that. 3 artisan, not really where we want to be at the moment. It's really not complicated if chat makes the play and it works. It's still wrong if it is new. And it works, it's still wrong. If it's Newton, it was just genius. Shuffle the library. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. All right. I don't think they have days, but I don't actually care if they do days. The question here is, what do we do? I think we're gonna grow Reclaimer. It's non-horrors, non-nightmares. So the good thing is, if Street Reef does make the list, the name has even more meaning, right? Nightmare on Elf Street, right? It's got elves, it's got nightmares, it's a street. Interesting that they killed the art. Interesting that they killed the Reclaimer. I mean, this is like by far scary if I untap with it. Okay, they had both. That's fair. Ooh. Waiting for Newton to try and brew green-black initiative. See, I mentioned earlier, Sadra, that I think here, whatever's too good not to try to get here. I think we're going to make our opponent have it, right? Like, do they have the grist? I mean the force. Otherwise, we're gonna grist right now. Not many people know I've been vouching the deck for months. Yeah, Lee here has been playing Dungeon or at least Archon Stompy for a while. All right, that might be a game ender. Take up. To be fairly, I think both things could be mutually correct. I think you could be the inventor, but I also think simultaneously other people may have worked on it without feedback from you as well. For what's worth, they should have fetched. Why is that, Nick Sama? What did they? And in response to what? Oh, sure. It's kind of annoying, but actually, yeah, it's kind of annoying actually. Waste. All right, that's the thing. So they're gonna have an Earl next turn. No, you can't green sun for opposition agent. So they're gonna have an Earl next turn, unfortunately. They are criminal. Hey, speaking of Chase, what do we do here? I think we just do this. See what they do. I think we just attack both. I know, right? I feel blessed. I feel blessed for sure. So I think the line here is if they tap out for Earl, oh, that's annoying. I was gonna say we're gonna kill the Earl and then like endurance them, but it looks like that's out the window. For what it's worth, I mentioned earlier Chase. I'm a big fan of Chase's innovations. I think like on some level we're kind of like kindred spirits. Like we don't care what people are doing. If we think something is right, we're just gonna do it. Like Chase has been playing Dak Faden since I don't know when, probably when it came out, but like, uh, probably the only person I know who plays it, right? And pretty sick to be honest. All right, interesting. They did not do anything there. It feels like an endurance. This is like green, green, blue, right? What else can it be? Um, we have 4 mana. We're gonna definitely plus. That's first. We're gonna plus and see what's up. Oh, okay. That's awkward. All right. I guess we will do this and destroy the Earl. Not destroy the Earl, but you know what I mean. I think we pass. It feels like that's an endurance. All right, they just conceded. Nice, nice. All right. Essentially, what happened here was our opponent was like all in on potentially like know jumping our insect tokens, right? Like flashing in that endurance. I'm assuming. And then we just had like the green sun for 3, just like nuke their yard, and suddenly they have no like action now, and this thing is like ticking up. Started buying monster in bulk to save money. So also shout out to Chase if he's still here. He made me cut reanimate because of his savagery of what he did to me for the 5-0 match. he was playing on stream, and and then Mike here told me about it afterwards. But long story short, he used Arawara and bounced my the Fury that I reanimated and got to Fury me a second time with it. And I was like, never again am I trying to reanimate my opponent's creatures. All right, we're 2-0. Let's see. This Twitch chat is pretty vibing right now. So like, maybe we just keep going. I did do it to myself. That's fair. All right, let's play another one. I think we're having a pretty good time here. Oops. Get water as that loads. Yeah, I really just wanted a Fury. Pick the fun play, a Fury, the Baleful Strix, right? Um, yeah, no idea if that grief package. Maybe it's just too much, right? But to be fair, I think the Street Reefs have been better than I thought they would be. Obviously, there's a liability against Delver. Maybe they don't stick around, but the fact that I'm even considering it tells you my opinion of the card. Obviously, deck thinning is like one of my favorite things to do. All right, I got a message about my colonoscopy. It did go well. Control for days. Combo player at heart here. We happen to have the collector oof. Now, do we assume Brandon is on control combo? This is like otherwise pretty bad. Alright, we're gonna like pay homage to the legacy throwback here and keep the collector oof. Maybe he's not on it, but you never know. Maybe he's not on it, but you never know. This is like my hand is like all in here on a collector oof, more or less, right? It's kind of bad otherwise. I think all the silver bullets here are in the hand, right? All right. No way he's not, according to Mike, who is a ant specialist himself. Control for days. They are a what's it called? A very strong ant player from ancient lore of Legacy. I think his first name is Brandon, if I remember correctly, but I don't quote me on that. Thank you for the follow, Elfmet. Thank you for the follow. All right, we are just like Brandon. Okay, so I did remember correct. I didn't remember the last name. The first name I was like, I feel like it's Brandon, but I could be wrong. One of these ambush blind therapy and it hit triple deck. I was not amused. It's happened for me too, Chase. Definitely happened to me too. Not Dak, obviously. I had the other day, not other day. When I first, it's kind of crazy. When I first started playing Artisan, I had somebody blind therapy me Artisan, or like blind therapy. Blind meat needle on Reclaimer. It's like kind of insane. Also, Chase, I don't know how long you've been watching, but I mentioned earlier one of your minions that played your deck. I paired into them, and they kept a hand against me that I couldn't believe. It was no blue source in on the third turn, and out of nowhere they had Force of Will and pitch, and then the following turn Fury me. So I just and they were showing Bayou, and I think they were showing like Taiga, like non-blue fetches, do non-blue blue lands, and I was like, that is kind of a sketch keep, but they were playing your deck. I guess that's the point. What is going on here? Actually, maybe they have a line through collective. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, he brainstormed on his turn, so that makes sense. Bloodstained Mire, also a combo fetch land, for those who don't know. Sure. Also, as the same cycle as Giant Growth. Hmm. What do we do here? I think the line here is to bluff Bog. So 3, 4. I'm actually short. Darn it. Yeah, let's do this. 4, 5. I'm gonna bluff Bog up and then like go for the kill next turn. Actually, that was a misplay. I should have just played the Fiend Artisan, because if I untap with it, I win, right? Like, I just get the I get Opposition Agent. That's a misplay. Right. So that is a misplay. Because if Brandon goes Thoughtseize here, then I get punished, right? So that is a misplay. I was like tunneling into the Crater Hoof too much. Forgetting Artisan untapping is probably still a kill. Sure. Cabal Ritual. Is he gonna go for it this turn? Uh-oh. Okay, we did not get punished, thankfully. I misplayed and could have gotten punished and didn't. Now we have lethal. I did it that way because I didn't want to accidentally mill. A giant girl over there. Yeah. All right. I guess we get to see the grease in action, right? Like we wanted. We'll see how it goes. Board out like a million cards, but that's okay. I think in this matchup, yeah, we take out that slow. So is that. I think we can actually board out all the shepherds. They're kind of bad. I feel like we have too many cards now. Just do that, I guess. I don't love the low density though. but we'll see. A one drops. We shall see. I just saw Chase's response. Land or Landlore? The great Anurag is here. Actually, big shout out to Anurag for all the coverage he provides. If you get a chance, donate to his GoFundMe in the future, or just like get him food because I saw like Bob Huang tweet out like he didn't even get to eat lunch like during all that coverage. So, big doing the community a big service, obviously. So, shout out to Anurag. I typically try not to cut lands. For what's what. Obviously, if it's like, there's like a Caracas, I'll cut. But I think this is a mole. But landlord was pretty bad. Yeah. So here, we're just the way we drew it up, right? With the grief, we're gonna go like turn one grief, like probably pitch. Feels like street reef. Actually, artisan's kind of slow here. I don't love being down a card. This is the same problem that Adriano mentioned. Maybe that just puts us off grief. Keep. Obviously, if they veil some, that's just the complete blowout, right? I didn't get a chance to because I had some family stuff this weekend, but the few times I have caught your stream, it's been pretty awesome. I know firsthand, Inigo, who I talk to almost every day, he thoroughly enjoyed it. So I guess on the behalf of Inigo, Runcor, he definitely enjoyed your coverage, Anurag. It definitely is a game plan. We're gonna go with a very suspect turn one Dryad Arbor, right? Very suspect turn one Dryad Arbor go. That's actually not bad. I feel like we have to have a route to victory. And that's probably the artisan and why we have to pitch the street review. Otherwise, we don't have a kill anytime soon. So let's do this and see how they respond. Let's see what goes on here. I think we take the tutor. Brandon just mentioned it wasn't expecting that one. I know. I'm surprised. Like I was gonna end the stream earlier, but then like all these people are coming in, all the cool kids, I guess, to hang out. So hang out even longer as a result. Brainstorm is gone. So is a Delta. C's. Ugh, they probably take the artisan. Probably take the artisan. It's the only thing that matters. They took the endurance. That's kind of interesting. I think we leave a bog and pass. Tell him you are trying to yog people. I'm glad the community pulled through for Honorog. Uh-oh. That can't be good. Oh. They're gonna go for ad Nas line. And yeah. The next target I think are stores and managed companies. Okay, so I probably don't know the context, but I would assume that what's it called it? The what's it called? The outside activities went pretty well at the event, Eternal Weekend. They have the tendrils in their hand. That's like pretty awkward for them. So Brandon actually joked they brought Fiend Artists into art to modern briefly. I actually saw Fiend Artists being played in Pioneer too, which is pretty dope. So here a little bit awkward for Brandon because the tendrils is in the hand now. Question is, what do we do here? They can pass in flame. So the dress down is in hand. So there's like a chance that. Okay, I think I just get. I think we just get the cradle here. Yeah. Well, that didn't plan out the way I thought it would. So he can still brainstorm and potentially go through the yard, but it's like really awkward because of the tendrils in hand. I think I just passed here. He might have to dress down proactively to avoid lethal. Let me think. Let me think. If I bash, I lower the shields down. There's no bog. I think bog is the only way he can win here. You can get an LED, and then it's like kind of bad for me. I think it's safe to just pass. I don't know if Hannah is anymore, Sadra. You have to ask her. She was, I know. It was a little bit awkward for me. I like if I had gone the arbor instead of the cradle there, like I could just bash for one, go to four. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Hayabusa. I don't think I can leave Reclaimer down. Them taking endurance makes me value Bog highly. There is that too, yeah. So I think here we're gonna have to force the dress down. We might be dead because we screwed it up. Like They should be at 1 if we had gotten the Arbor. Debatable if. Yeah, so they can fetch down a 1 and maybe get out of this. Because Bog is a down, right? The thing is, like, we had to attack to force out the dress down because they could still dress down end step because they're not getting another turn. The difference is we screwed it up because if we had got the Bog, they'd be at 1 life and they can't fetch out of and be brainstorm blocked, right? No, because they have to dress down end step anyways. I think we're dead and we got punished. We will get punished for screwing up there. You can Bog in response to dress down. No, that's not what I'm saying. Sure, I see what you're saying. Then they don't have a yard. That's fair. That is. I kept thinking about that cards in their hand, but you're right. I definitely punted this game. So I think here, Brandon's supposed to pass in flames, and then he has lethal. Actually, maybe not because the Chromox is interesting. Okay, there's the Hellbent. No, you are right. Like I should have. I made two mistakes. The first one was not getting the arbor. The second one was I should have held up the reclaimer. If they're gonna end step dress down, I can still react to it and bog in response. That's probably okay because then they have to have enough rituals in their hand to get through that. All right. Yeah, that was a punt on my behalf. Yeah. Brandis is the first time playing the deck in 3 years. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we shall see if my luck continues. We shall see. Did not play the best there, and got punished. Can't keep that. That's pretty good. I think we put the endurance back. The problem is the artisan is the late game. But at the same time, we don't have creatures to pitch to it. It could. It just probably makes the deck worse though. To be honest. I think we once first and see. That's pretty good, actually. Huh. I think we'll follow We Are Tiger form. I think we take the Inferno Tutor here. Ponder off the top is pretty good. Or sorry, Underground off the top is pretty good. Yeah, my gut feeling is the grief is not going to be long because the card disadvantage is a problem. Like the tempo is nice, but like at the end of the day, like I feel like it's still hard to cobble up to a win when you're down cards, right? Like unlike, and I feel like maybe not worth it. The one thing that could be worth it still is the street reefs were kind of good actually. So maybe that is like a what is the word I'm looking for? A pleasant or a surprise finding, right? Like we did it really more for the grease, but maybe that's the big takeaway. Who would have known? Free cantrips are pretty good. Chooses not to shuffle. Okay, that's kind of scary. Oof. Yeah, maybe that's the takeaway. Maybe we don't need griefs to play the street reefs. Like the street reefs honestly felt not that bad. Like just that thinning out the deck, right? You just see your best cards all the time. Just don't be like me and play into a Narset. Preordained. What is going on here? I feel like we're gonna get comboed here. Do they have an Inferno into an Ennos? Because of Delver, I think is the reason. Also, if you're gonna play a 56 card deck with Street Reefs, I think you have to kill fast, right? Like that's part of the thing about it too. I think they might have not done that correctly. Echo. I definitely was not expecting that. I definitely was not expecting Echo there. Yeah, that tells me all I need to know, right? Like, I think the reason why nobody's played Street Read is because of the Delver matchup. Surprise, surprise, right? I guess. But like, I think because we have a fast kill or virtual kill, it might be okay in our deck just to like increase consistency. Like we just don't want to play any more weak cards if we don't have to, right? Like the weak cards being more visionary, more Wirewood. As painful as that is to say, or dorks that become a little too redundant, right? Like 4 kind of seems like the sweet spot. 5's like oh my god, they were dead. Sure. I think we are dead. Yep. Yikes. That is quite the hand. All right, so Brandon's gonna add Nas here. Oh, actually, I take that back. He just has a kill. All right, GG's. All right, we lost, but All right. Do I play out the last round? Okay. Why don't we just finish, just for completeness, right? Like I know, I was gonna play until I lost, and we did lose here, but I think since we're having a good time, I guess we'll just play the last match, and then we can raid. Let's see. Pretty soon, maybe I'll raid the real X whale, right? Like rumor has it he has an imposter running around. Like, what kind of deviant would do such things? So one more, I guess, and then I think I've come to the conclusion after tonight. Like, black pitch or not, it felt like we had the pitch count. It's just like that's not where we want to be because I just don't think we want to be down a card. Maybe it's worth it in vintage because like you have to just like get the advantage, the tempo, so to speak. It did not feel like that match at least. Being down a card was what I wanted, but maybe the unexpected surprises. Maybe the Street Reefs is just like good enough to play. Oh, we're running into current. How funny. All right. For those who don't know, Kern played in the showcase qualifier this past Sunday as well. He finished top four for the event. He says hi, chat. By the way. So yeah, he finished top four. He played the white splash with the strict proctor, which I'm not even sure we need to be honest to beat initiative, but it we wanted to be safe, so that was the game plan. Hey Parker, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, given all the well, to be fair, Shadow would only work in the matches where we bring in snuff outs, and I don't think we need fair matchup cards. Uh, I don't know what Kern is on. This is like a whatever's hand, but I'm just gonna keep just like in the dark. I don't think I'm gonna mold to like, you know, I don't think it's like mold to natural order or something like that, like kind of game plan. All right, he is on a Rite of Flame deck. I know this because he shared some of the decks he built with all the prizes he got from the top four, because he wants to widen his arsenal. Like you're gonna keep a turn one bolt, right, and then he's gonna turn one Rite of Flame you. What is going on here? Don't tell me it's Moonstomp. Oh, it is Moonstomp. Okay. I think here we're gonna Street Reef first. See what we draw into. This matchup is actually kind of hard in my opinion. He joked they always have the Shepherd. I know you've shown your list, but what? But did you cut visual, symbiote visual for Reeves? I'll show you the list right after. Noted Shadow versus Initiative. Which house? All right. There is a chance we get blown out here by a well, actually, a braid. Sorry, not braid. The I forgot what it's called. Um. Actually, I just we're just gonna hope for the best. Like I forgot what it's called. The whole the giant. I forgot what it's called, but you know what I'm getting at. Two, three. I think here I'm just gonna like play this into the chalice and see what happens. There's a chance I get Fury here, but like, I don't think Green Sun for Wirewood is like that great a play. Yeah, we didn't get Tony today. That's like pretty nice, to be fair. I think here we have 4, 5, 6 mana. I think we just go ahead and like get the, what is it called? The grist, and just like play it safe, so to speak. If only we had a Fiend Artisan, it'd be a 3/3 right now. If only we had a Fiend Artisan. Low key, that might just be enough. Like big artisans, just like that would have been funny for sure. All right, we have a bunch of bad cards in this matchup. I guess we can keep one Wirewood. It's not like great. The Shepherd was insane that game. Yeah, I did mention Shepherd is like good against Chalice for what it's worth. Wong deck. Blue players, I don't think you needed to be blue players. The one of is nice for sure though. Like low key, Chalice is the reason to play Shepherd. Not really blue decks, in my opinion. I think a lot of people kind of know that already, but it's like definitely horrendous gameplay. I will agree with that, and I know if Honorog's still around, I know Honorog like hates that card. Uh, and mostly because the gameplay is like really awful, right? Like it's the same reasons why some people want initiative ban, like not necessarily based on power, but just like kind of toxic gameplay. Ragavan, same thing. Would you want a fourth shadow if you kept them in? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Sadra? Do you mean a fourth? Uh, what's it called? The Street Reef? Or I'm not sure about your question. I feel like 4 is probably like really flirting with just like too much life lost now, right? Nope. That is a thing that can happen. Well, that is also a thing that can happen. All right, let's see if we can't. Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Uh, never. Once upon a time, very broken card. Bone Crusher Giant is the card I'm thinking of. Ooh, all right. It's kind of annoying, but we did get the basic. I mean, that means we get to play Magic at least. Nope, that doesn't work. Speaking of the devil, they made an appearance here. What do I do here? Do I want to play out the shepherd or... Yeah, I think I do. Just pass. If we get Fury here, it's still 2 for 2. It's not the end of the world. It's always this fine dance against these red decks, right? Like, they're going to try to Fury you. Here, Legend Rule, we're going to pitch the Cradle. Where's... There we go. So now we got to play Magic, right? We have the Endurance on. I think we're probably feeling pretty good about this matchup right now, to be honest. The greedy line is Team 3-4 next turn. Yeah, I know for sure. How greedy do I want to be? I feel like we just like YOLO it, right? We're gonna go for the win, so to speak here. And like plus. I know every game Prague. We could have minus. I just didn't feel like minus was correct there. We can minus potentially this turn though. Um, if Kern has Fury, this is probably now or never, right? I think you kind of have to do it right now with the grist ticking up. And opponent has blockers too. So the one of the things about grist too is like trying to fill the yard. Okay, that kind of makes me wish. Okay, that is a thing. Interesting. It's always tough for me to give up real creatures to my Grizz. I always want to tick up. Yeah, I think here we kind of have to. This thing is like humongous, right? Uh, I think we attack here and then let one of them die. Actually, is that right? Okay. No, I don't think so. So I could attack here and then, or I can just give him the counters for a turn. That might just be better, to be honest. All right, we don't get anything. Kieran knows my list. Once for Arbor and sack it. What do you mean by that? So here, it's like telegraph that we have endurance, but I think that's okay. Fable, sure, that's good for us. I think. I think he knows. But he might have to attack anyways. Like he might not have a choice. Yeah, he definitely knows. Kern is well versed in this matchup. I think Forge to tick up the Shepherd. Embarrassment of riches here. We even have the second endurance. I think we just sit back now. This is what I mean. The initiative gameplay is a little bit toxic, right? You just like protect the queen, kind of just sit back as your opponent is like kind of stuck. Dead gone. That wouldn't be the worst. Well, it's kind of not great on this board state. And again, a telegraph like 4 mana up. That's got to be endurance, right? Like the reason why we hit the yard is because in case they have the squee. Dubious Monarch. Kern's joking. Hey man, this deck sucks. So that's true. Kern did make it work. All right, we're gonna drain them 5 here. Actually, might even be better to. No, we got we're gonna just drain instead of golding. Okay, this is kind of an embarrassment of riches now. Mm, that's it, I guess. Would you play a green initial card if they had them available on Moto? Probably not. The 4-drop one is the one that's interesting. The problem I see with it is what is it called? The problem I see with it is I think you already beat control. Yeah, if we hoof off the last room, that would be pretty sick. All right, we're gonna have to kill the Kikijigi for what it's worth. We draw a card. There's the card. I think we gotta kill the Kikijigi now. I think we just pass, I guess. There's really no need to do anything. We could have golded, and potentially that like unlocks our deck because we like shut off the Magus, but all right. Can we get a hoof off of this? We did! Cha-ching! All right. We did just get a hoof off the last one. That is kind of sick. Initiative elves. Who even needs natural order, right? All right, that was pretty fun. All right, hopefully chat somebody can like screenshot that. I was too lazy to. Having a ball here chatting with Kern, who's having a good time. It's a good sport about it. All right, we got the 3-2. We probably punted the match 4 here, but I think we learned. I don't think the grief is probably where we want to be in the future. I think the card disadvantage just hurts too much. I think the black pitch felt pretty consistent for what it's worth. Kern tells chat that he loves you guys, by the way. But I think I'll bring up the list. I think going forward, I think what we realized today is even though it's pretty sick, it only works when we don't mulligan, and we do kind of mulligan aggressively still against what's it called, against combo. So I'm probably gonna be off grief. The good thing is I do think there is something about the street reefs. I will continue testing these. That might just be the hidden fluke discovery, right? So we'll see. We will see. I think with that said, who shall we raid? I think I said I was gonna raid the real X whale here. So let's do that. Again, for those of you who tuned in, here are my socials again, and we'll go ahead and raid whale here.